I26 because around here, eggs are $10 a dozen now. And a lot of people have quit eating them because they cost so much money. So if you're not eating eggs, you need to jack up on your I26 because we definitely need eggs or a substitute for eggs, which is the I26. So it's all good for you. Also, everybody in Michigan for sure, and really everybody everywhere, selenium every day so you don't get a cardiomyopathy heart attack. When you run out of selenium, your heart can turn from muscle to fat within minutes. And they say, excuse me, doctors will say somebody died from an enlarged heart. And I don't know if they're stupid or they want to hide the truth, but their heart turned to fat, which makes it a lot bigger. And it's because they ran out of selenium and muscle turned to fat. And it can happen within minutes after you run out of selenium. So the best thing, especially selenium in our soil, has been washed out from all the rain. And I would assume that up in Canada, you guys got the same situation because you guys have a lot of rainfall like we do. That's why we have a lot of trees because of the rain. And selenium and other minerals out of the soil. And so you can know that you're getting them is to consciously take them. And of course, doctors say, oh, that's just conspiracy theory, but it's not real. And when we look at the proof is in the pudding about people who take care of themselves and supplement and avoid the bad food as much as they can. They definitely live much longer. And at my age, I can see it. It's very obvious. When you're young, you don't know because all your friends are your age and they're all pretty much adolescents and they think they're going to live forever. And when you start getting older and seeing the reality of the situation, we're not going to live forever. And the more you take care of yourself, the longer you will live without things going wrong. So, and I do. You're the one that knows better about what's going on in your body than anybody does, than any doctor. And you got to start taking care of yourself because nobody else cares about you. Nobody else cares how long you live except you. And the more supplements you take and the more bad foods you avoid, like fried foods, do eat fried foods. Do not eat soy. Do not eat any of that. Don't eat wheat, barley, rye, or oats. All the gluten. I can't eat corn. If I eat anything that's got corn in it, I will be deathly sick within a half hour. It's that bad. And because all the corn on the market is GMO corn, and it's poison to me. So it's common sense. And I'm at my age, I got to really be careful because gluten messed me up really bad. Corn, obviously, it's almost like I breathe it. It's so you learn as you get older too, all the things you can and can't eat. And like when I go to Covers, they have gluten-free ones, but they don't want to give them. Apparently, it costs them more money because they always ask you, is it a necessity that you have a gluten-free bun? And I always say, yes, it's a necessity. So I don't want to, I know that I will get sick if I eat regular buns. I have to have gluten-free buns. And I can't believe McDonald's never got on the bandwagon. They still never got on the bandwagon. There's lax, right, Doc? They're very lax because this is not just a phase. This is real. I mean, people are allergic to gluten. I still remember seeing John Roberts being going to be the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. And I remember calling Doc and I said, Doc, he's got a gluten problem because he got rosé all over his cheeks, which means he drinks beer, which has got gluten in it, barley. And it come out that he He said he liked his beer and he wasn't going to quit drinking his beer. And I remember Trump on, he was talking about it, and he said, because his whole life of alcoholism, so he's never drank. He said, in my whole life, I have never had a glass of beer. He said, just think what a mess I'd be if I had. And I started laughing. I couldn't quit laughing. And my joke is that he's got the biggest winery on the East Coast in New Jersey, and we got the smallest one in Harbor Springs, Michigan. And I don't drink alcohol, and he doesn't drink alcohol. So that's our common denominator. I always joke it to everybody. I say, I don't have to drink to make a fool of myself because I do it naturally. So at least I know I'm doing it. So anyway, there's so many things that people have to supplement with. Selenium, essential fatty acids. If you don't take essential fatty acids, you could get a stroke. Nobody wants to get a stroke because that's so devastating if you survive it. You got to be in a nursing home and go through rehab and hope that some more stuff doesn't go wrong with you while you're there. And you got to have the minerals. There's 6 rare earth minerals in our liquid minerals, and any one of them given to laboratory animals at the rate of 1 microgram a month will double to triple their lifespan. Now tell me that that's not important. It's to me boggles the mind when you think about it. But that's how important minerals are. And like Doc says, the people in the Hansa, up in Hansa, they live, their average lifespan right now is 122 years old. There's somebody in the United States that's 159 still collecting Social Security, but I don't think that's real. I think somebody fudged the records or something. But because there's nobody, I don't think there's anybody even 112. There's supposed to be 20,000 people in the United States that are 112 or older collecting Social Security, and I don't believe that either. Because when somebody gets to be 112 in the United States, it's a big hoo-ha deal. And they get on the news, right, Doc?
That's right.
Oldest person in the whole country. And now we all of a sudden got 20,000 of them. Or 200,000, I think they said. So there's some screwed up bookkeeping going on here, obviously. But the point being is, I know nobody here. I got a video with Renee Russo. It's on a VHS tape, so that tells you how old it is. She visited the Hanses. And when the men get 100 years old, they dye their beards red. And there's a bunch of men up on volleyball, and one of them, what they said, was 145 years old playing volleyball. Now, nobody has lived to be 145 in the United States that I know of. It would be on the news if it happened quite a bit. And obviously it's not happened. So the bottom line is we need to learn how to take care of ourselves. And it's not a conspiracy theory. And I do think with Robert Kennedy Jr. Heading the health issues, I'm hoping that he's going to bring a lot of this stuff to the forefront, and people like us won't be labeled as conspiracy theorists anymore, because we're not. It's what a lot of people are saying. Well, everything they thought was a conspiracy theory has all turned out to be true now. And it is true. And we do need to take care of ourselves. And you don't want to be drinking water that isn't safe. You don't want to drink water with fluoride in it. You need to get it filtered out. Right, Doc?
Yep.
So the bottom line is supplementation is the only way that you can guarantee that you're getting all the nutrients that are missing in the food, and guarantee that you can live longer without having to go to a doctor or take any prescription drugs. Of the 250,000 prescription drugs on the market, the only ones that do anything are antibiotics. None of the 250,000 drugs on the market besides antibiotics cure any disease. They just make you feel better while you're continuously getting worse. And this is something people got to start. And then another thing they don't talk about is when I first got involved in this mineral business and stuff, there was an article in the Grand Rapids Press that, and I think it was in Sweden, where they have national health insurance. 3 out of 4 women, including teenage girls who got mammograms, got breast cancer regardless of their age. Now, common sense tells you that the mammogram is what is causing the breast cancer. And so here are women lining up to get their breasts radiated or whatever they do to get a mammogram. And it's really hurting them. When I found out, I had 2 before I found out the truth, and I've never got another one since, and I won't. And when you see people getting them, you want to tell them, don't do it. Don't give yourself cancer. So there's so many things that we need to learn, and once you learn them, they're in your head and you won't forget them. And the best thing we can do is try to educate other people that are willing to listen, that care about living a long, healthy life without being hooked up to wires and tubes in a hospital sometime. I don't want to go that way. I just want to go to bed one night and go to sleep and just not wake up. So anyway, that's my little tidbit today.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing all that. I want to give another little piece here that goes along with what you've been saying. This just came out a couple of months ago. This is new data. The average lifespan of an emergency room doctor in America is 58.7. The average lifespan of an emergency room doctor in America is 58.7. Okay. And they did all kinds of studies all over the place. It keeps coming out 58.7. The average lifespan of a private doctor, they just have a little practice, 1 or 2 doctors, in a little clinic, their average lifespan is 79. Now, the Hunzas in the Himalayan mountains in Pakistan, this just came out a couple of months ago, their average lifespan is 122. Okay, it's because they're getting all those minerals. They live in a land flowing with milk and honey. It's out of the Bible 2,000 years ago. Okay, the land flowing with milk and honey. Everybody's heard that, but they think it's a myth. It's not a myth. It's actually true. It was written up in the Bible because it was so, what should I say, it was so predictable. The people who lived in certain areas lived a long time. You take those same people and put them in another place, they don't live very long. Well, the land flowing milk and honey comes from the glaciers grinding up the rocks at the top of the mountains. The white dust from the rocks come down in the streams. It looks like milk coming down the side of the mountains. And what about the honey part? Well, the honey, when all those minerals go into the valley, there's more flowers, more bees, more honey. So that's why the land flowing with milk and honey, and there's like, I don't know, 7 or 8 places like that. Dr. Milan and I, we went to several of them, including Qishan province, China, where they had the same thing we had with the kids, dying of what is it? The It'll come to
Heart?
me, huh?
Heart?
No, cystic fibrosis.
Oh,
Yeah, cystic fibrosis. Okay, CF, cystic fibrosis. We're dying. We figured out the cause of cystic fibrosis. We ended that, got all kinds of national and international awards, Lifetime Achievement Award from the United Nations. Okay, so we went to China and we did 1,700 autopsies on kids under the age of 10. They're in Qishan, China. And it turns out the Qishan disease in China is the same thing as the cystic fibrosis, CF, in European countries. And it was written up in a big Chinese medical journal. It's in all the Chinese-speaking libraries and universities and all kinds of stuff. So we're very proud of that. And so now we've pretty much gotten rid of Qishan disease in China, just like you don't hear much about cystic fibrosis anymore because we've gotten rid of it. Okay. We had to sue the FDA 8 times in federal court, their attorney, Jonathan Emord, because the doctors and everybody were suing us. National Institute of Health was suing us in federal courts. So we sued them back 8 times in federal court to get to be able to put minerals into baby formulas. And as soon as we put the minerals in baby formulas, cystic fibrosis stopped, just stopped. Okay, so we're so very proud of that story. And it's a wonderful thing. And we've saved, I don't know how many millions of kids' lives all over the world since that time. Very, very proud of that whole thing. And of course, you'll find that in the book, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, Epigenetics. And one of the things you need to do is get the flip chart. Get the flip chart. It's, I don't know, 70 something pages, and it covers over 50 different diseases. My favorites, of course, are the demyelinization. The white matter, the brain goes away, and you wind up with all these terrible things going on in your brain. Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease. Let's see here. Let me give you a few more of the diseases that you get when you. There you go. Okay, when you have cystic fibrosis, Parkinson's disease, all that kind of stuff. Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, that's ALS, Huntington's, chorea, frontotemporal dementia, Bell's palsy, cervical spondylosis, optic neuritis, that's an eye thing, Charcot-Marie-Tooth, Guillain-Barré syndrome. You've heard of all these things. Transverse myelitis, disseminated encephalomyelitis, chronic inflammatory demyelinating polyneuropathy, anti-MAG peripheral neuropathy. But the ones that are very common are Parkinson's disease and Alzheimer's disease. You get this flip chart, okay? You go to page 27, and it has, I don't know, about a half a dozen letters that doctors received from Madeline O. and has sent to other doctors, where we had gotten rid of in 2.5 months. We got rid of her. Let's see here. We got rid of her Parkinson's disease, which she had getting worse and worse and worse over, I don't know, 9.5 years. And just in 2.5 months, we got rid of her Parkinson's disease. She went in for an annual physical. They said, well, there's something wrong here. This must be somebody else's data because you don't have Parkinson's disease anymore. That can't be right. So come back tomorrow. And they reran it. Still didn't have Parkinson's disease the next day. Okay. Now that goes back a couple of years ago. And so she's running around the world and she's, like, what, now 100 years old, almost 100 years old, running around the world telling people about her bout with Parkinson's disease and how she got rid of it, taking our product. Well, but now it's happening worldwide because the price of eggs are going up and people have stopped eating eggs, and eggs prevent Parkinson's disease. Eggs prevent dementia and memory problems. Eggs prevent Alzheimer's disease, prevents ALS. Eggs have all this stuff that are necessary for the human brain and spinal cord, the myelin, the white matter of the brain and spinal cord. Well, when she was first showing improvement, the doctor said, there's a problem here. This can't be your data. Come back tomorrow, rerun it. And again, tomorrow, all her data was perfectly normal. And they had to say, we don't know why, but you don't have Parkinson's anymore after 12 years. Okay, getting worse and worse and worse. Yeah, that's
And again, they don't have a clue, do they?
No,
they don't have a clue.
They don't have a clue, but everybody needs to get this flip chart. Okay, 90 for Life Crusade and Save Humanity in the World. And just like all our other books, if you buy 10 or more of these, you get a big discount. And what you want to do is call our office and get this educational brochure. Goes into, not all of them, goes into about 20 of our 25 different books, and in the back page are the flip charts. Okay, has the flip charts, the bottom right hand corner. Okay, the flip charts, and this, when you have something like Parkinson's disease go away after 9.5, 10, 11 years of having Parkinson's disease, getting worse and worse and worse, and the end was there. And in 2.5 months, the Parkinson's disease went away with a good diet and the supplements. And we've been doing this not just once, we're doing this hundreds of times a day around the world, 81 countries. It's freaking all the doctors out. Okay, so everybody needs to get this flip chart, and you can show it in a little meeting in your kitchen with 3 or 4 people. You can go to a classroom and show it to 30 kids. You can show it to a big auditorium with 100 or 500 or 1,000 people in it. My um, my biggest lecture, okay, is on a DVD, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, just like the book Dead Doctors Don't Lie, the DVD, and it's 2 hours and 10 minutes long, okay? And it'll tell you how to add 25 to 50 years to your life, okay? And it's one of those things where these things are available. The book Dead Doctors Don't Lie is available. I'm going to read a couple of paragraphs to you. Okay, what makes us different? Okay, here we go. This is just a couple of paragraphs in the middle of the book. Epigenetics. I'm one of the founding fathers of the science of epigenetics. This is page 329. Okay, the saga of the book finally ends and it's published. Over the years, Dr. Wallach ended up with all 28 chapters of the book. The book had become his book by default because at the same time, there's a lot of other people smarter than me, but there are a few who are as persistent, who are as willing to work as hard as me to complete a project. As Carol Can, the WBA Saunders editor, predicted, all but one of the 28 original book contributors, except Doc, had fallen ill and died or gave up with exhaustion. 1,200 pages is this book, 2,000 illustrations, hundreds of editorial meetings, 25,000 autopsies, 10 million chemistries, 10 million slides with special stains, and 18 years later, Wallach finished the book. It's finished in 1983. The tome entitled The Diseases of Exotic Animals is finally finished. The book represented 20,000 animals, okay, 454 species in human autopsies, and tens of thousands of clinical cases. To sell the book at $140 each, W.B. Saunders insisted that Wallach add the name of the clinical veterinarian as a co-author of the book and add an obvious clinical subtitle to enhance the sales. There are far more clinicians than pathologists in the world. Wallach was to get 90% of the royalties, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that tells you a lot. Okay. All right. Now here we go. Now, getting the message about nutrition disseminated to the world and the public, okay, to change healthcare in America. Wallach had done his best. He had been educated using taxpayers' money to the tune of $7.5 million. And he had used, these are grants and that kind of stuff, and he had used the best science to publish peer review and refereed articles in respected scientific journals, published reference books, and contributed chapters to multi-author textbooks on the subject of nutrition and nutritional deficiencies. In fact, he's now by definition and diverse experience and training a polymath. However, he still felt that he had not been successful in reaching his goal of changing human healthcare in America for the betterment of all. He knew that he had to find another way to be more effective in getting this message out and disseminated to the general public. What would Paracelsus? What would Paracelsus? What would Pastor Darwin? Okay, what would Darwin and Mendel do? In 1990, Wallach, along with his wife, Dr. Milan, published the article that reported the details of 1,700 autopsies of the Chinese children under the age of 12 who had died of Keyshan disease and hypertrophic cardiomyopathy heart disease, a known selenium deficiency disease. The purpose of the study was to see if cystic fibrosis, okay, theorized by medical doctors in America to be a genetic disease of Eastern European children, occurred in the study group. Wallach had discovered the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis in a rhesus monkey, which proved to be caused by a congenital selenium deficiency, meaning there was selenium deficiency in the embryo, okay? And he believed that his initial work was correct, okay? And that cystic fibrosis was a selenium deficiency. Then a certain number of Chinese children who had Keyshan disease, a known selenium deficiency disease, would have cystic fibrosis as well as cardiomyopathy. Okay, so at any rate, this book is available. Okay, Epigenetics. You can call Wellness Publications. Epigenetics. It's 500 pages, but it's a lot cheaper. Okay, the book is a lot cheaper than the book. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right. Yeah. The book, Epigenetics, okay, costs $25. You buy 10 of them, they're $15 each. So you save $10 a book if you buy 10 of the book Epigenetics. All right. And the Truth About Nutrition book, okay, is $39.95. You buy 10 or more, you only pay $29.95, so you save $10 each. And these books add 25 to 50 healthful years to your life with the information. And what a great gift to give your family, your church mates, your pastors, your professors, your neighbors, your doctors, your workmates, and so on. And so holiday gifts and wedding gifts and children graduating schools and this kind of stuff. You need this information, okay? And nobody was going to spend $2,500 to buy the book Diseases of Exotic Animals. So this is why we came up with the book Epigenetics. This is why we came up with the book Dead Doctors Don't Lie. This is why we came up with the flip chart. Okay. Again, everybody should buy at least 10 of these flip charts and either give them as gifts or sell them to your neighbors, your church mates, your family, graduations, marriages, new babies being born. 90 for Life Crusade to save humanity in the world. Okay. This is really a great thing because anybody can use this. You don't need to have all kinds of degrees and so forth. But I'm going to flip this around so you can see. Okay, this is what the cover of the flip chart looks like. Okay. All right. 90 for Life Crusade to Save Humanity in the World with Dr. Joel Wallach, BS, DVM, postdoc, pathologist, and naturopathic doctor. Okay, this is one of those things where this flip chart, the information, all you have to have is a 6th grade reading level. And you can read that several times, use a dictionary if you have to on occasion. But that flip chart can add 10 to 15 to 25 years to your life. Why would you not do that? Okay. What a great, great, great gift to your family and your church mates and neighbors and workmates and so on. And of course, when you go to events and stuff like that, they want you to have some kind of gifts to give. Well, guess what? You want to give the flip chart. Now, we're also starting, this is coming up, in addition to Dead Doctors Don't Lie, we have the CD, it's a DVD, excuse me, The Future of AI, Artificial Intelligence to Diagnose Disease and Cure Disease, with Dr. Randy Shannon, Dr. Joel Wallach, and guest host Paul Booker with the Charlie Ward Show out of England. Okay. And this is a DVD. This is a DVD. This is not a CD. This is a half-hour long. It's like 25 minutes long. It'll really educate you on this AI. AI is really coming on. And of course, then the Dead Doctors Don't Lie DVD, 2 hours and 10 minutes. This is my lecture. Okay. My lecture, this is probably the best lecture I ever gave. And it was in front of 1,000 people in a big, big auditorium. And it was actually filmed by professional people who made movies. Okay, this is not from grandma's laptop. Okay, this is something really very important. Okay, Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Okay, someone should go to jail. I mean, we have so much information here. Again, we can add 25 to 50 years to your life. Why not?
Introducing our most advanced nutritional support, 3.0 Rise and 3.0 Restore by Youngevity. This all-new 2-part formulation builds upon almost 30 years of research and success of our legacy nutrition products. This is BTT 3.0, but with a new identity, to highlight the inclusion of targeted support ingredients for an even more robust supplement. The new 3.0 Rise and Restore boosts health around the clock, using time-duration nutrition for better absorption and utilization of each ingredient. This dual system goes beyond vitamins and minerals to provide targeted support for things important to all of us, like cognitive health, stress defense, mood wellness, and more. Designed to be taken specifically in the morning and evening, Rise and Restore gives you exactly what you need when you need it for maximum health benefits. Formulated with more whole foods and plant-based ingredients, this system is the most comprehensive nutritional support ever offered by Youngevity. Rise is gluten-free and vegetarian-friendly, and features nootropic cognitive support with energy and metabolism-boosting ingredients as well as mood-boosting components. It also provides phytonutrients for everyday antioxidant and immune support and cellular hydration support. Restore is also gluten-free and vegetarian-friendly, designed with restorative nutrients to help your body recover from the day's stressors, featuring circulation and cardiovascular support, ashwagandha for relaxation and stress relief, detox support, pre- and probiotics for good gut health, as well as an adaptogenic blend for reducing stress, anxiety, and fatigue. Together, these innovative research-driven formulas provide a full-circle approach to daily foundational nutrition for an active life, all in great-tasting new flavors that make this product an easy lifestyle addition you'll look forward to each day, to help set the tone for productive days and restful nights. As research continues to identify opportunities to improve health, Youngevity will be at the forefront of those discoveries. Our mission has always been to support your overall health. Now we're going even deeper to target and support your optimal health, wellness, and happiness. Welcome to a new era in Youngevity nutrition.